Hey guys, hello and welcome back to my channel. So today in this video I am starting another topic of law of tort. Since I have promised in my previous videos that I will be covering all the law papers in my forthcoming video, so this is the starting, this is the beginning. So I have started from today about the law of tort. So I'll try my best to complete the law of tort in 12 videos. So stay tuned, and if you have not subscribed yet to my channel, so please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified for the further updates. Okay, so guys, this is our first video about the law of tort, and so today we're gonna learn about the what is law of tort and what are its essential. Okay, so first of all guys, we need to understand what does the tort means. Okay, so the word tort has been derived from the Latin word tortum. Okay, tortum, which means twist, which means to twist, I think you have heard about it in college also. Your teacher have told you about this tortum and twist. So this is not so big different. So I am trying to make this video as precise as possible. So guys, the word tort has been derived from the Latin word that is to twist, that means to twist. And so what is tort? Tort is a civil wrong. Tort is a civil wrong other than breach of trust or contract. So guys, we need to understand so tort is a civil wrong. Okay, it is not a criminal wrong, it is a civil wrong which is committed by a defendant to the plaintiff, and it is other than the breach of trust and breach of contract. Why it is said so? Because for the breach of trust we have our Indian Trust Act, and for contract we also have Indian Contract Act. Okay guys, so in order to understand more about the law of tort, we need to go through certain definition of the various juries. Okay, so first of all we will see the first definition, that is about the law of tort, which is given in the section 2M, subsection M of Limitation Act 1963. So this section of the Limitation Act defines the law of tort, as I have mentioned earlier. That is law. It is a civil wrong. Yeah. Tort means a civil wrong. Tort means a civil wrong which is not exclusively a breach of contract or breach of trust. Guys, I do not have the habit of writing whiteboards. This is the first time I am writing, so please bear with my handwritings. So guys, section 2M of the Limitation Act 1963 defines defines the word tort. Okay, so tort means a civil wrong. As I have said, it is a civil wrong which is not exclusively a breach of contract or the breach of trust, as I have said already. That because for the contract and trust we have separate act, though they are a civil wrong. If a person rescinds the contract, if a person makes any wrongful act through the contract, or if the person breaches the trust, then obviously we have that is also a civil wrong, but that will come under the different statutes, like for Indian Trust Act, Indian Contract Act, the Specific Relief Act, and all that, right? So guys, so let's see another definition of the law of tort that is given by Fresher. Okay, it's the definition of Fresher. So according to the Fresher, that is, he said it is an infringement infringement of a right, infringement of a right, it is infringement of a right in rem, right in rem of a private individual, giving a right of compensation, giving a right of compensation, right of compensation at the suit of the injured party. Okay. So guys, see here, according to the fresher, it is an infringement of a right in rem of a private individual giving a right of compensation and the suit of the injured party. So let's understand. So there is a very important term, that is right in rem. Okay. So what is right in rem? We need to understand this first. So there are two terms. Okay, right in rem, that is first right in rem, and another is right in personal. So right in personal, right in rem, the right in personal. So what is right in rem? First of all, that is right in rem is a right against the whole world. Right against the whole world. The whole world. Right against the whole world, and the right against personal is right against the person or persons group of particular category. So what is, first of all, we need to know what is right in rem. Okay, so right in rem means the right against the whole world. Okay, so what kind of rights are called to be a right against the whole world? So it is such right which is not primarily fixed by anybody. Okay, it is not primarily fixed, but it is a right, and there is a countless rights which comes under the right in rem. For example, right not to get defamed, right not to get assaulted, right not to get restrained, so many more, right not to get disturbed, right not to get right to have a peaceful sleep, and everything. So everything comes under the right against the whole world. Okay, so these rights, is not guaranteed or is not certified by a particular person or particular entity or authority. Okay, but in case of the right in person, what happens, like there has to have a certain relationship between the wrongdoer and the sufferer. Okay, there has to have a relation between the plaintiff and which is sufferer as well, and defendant. Okay, defendant. Then who is the defendant is the culprit and plaintiff is a victim. Okay, sufferer and the doer. Okay, so there has to have a relation between the plaintiff and defendant. For example, just take the example that there was a contract. Just suppose there is a contract between plaintiff and defendant, that defendant and the defendant breached the contract, and that's why plaintiff suffered the loss out of that breach. Okay, so since the contract is breached and plaintiff suffered the wrong, so that's why plaintiff has the right to sue defendant for the compensation or anything, whatever be the recourse. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So in order to become the right in personal, the right must be pass through the certain person. Okay, there has to have a relationship between the two person, and one person is in the wrong path and another person is right in personal and right in rem. So as I have said already that a right in rem is a right against the person. That means in order to constitute a right to be a right in personam, that right, so there has to have a relationship between the plaintiff and the defendant. Okay, so that must be arising out of a certain deed or certain work or certain promise. Okay, and in case of the right in rem, it is against the whole word, and there is no, it is not arise out of the just by suppose, I mean, let's take the example. So there is a two person. This is A and B. This is A and B, and A and B. They have a separate residence. They are living differently in a particular area, and A has nothing to do with the B, and B has nothing to do with this A. But and there is no relationship between them. But if certain things happen, and B intentionally or without intention do certain things, and which harms A, then in that case A will have a right to sue B. Okay, so that right is called the right in rem, and the law of tort is always the right in rem. Okay, because so there was no relationship between them, but he does it. He trespasses his land without his knowledge. That is also a tort that he has committed. Okay, so that is a right, because his right in rem is being violated by the act of trespass. Okay, so but in case of the right in personam, there has to have a two relation. There has to have a relation. Suppose A and B, and they agreed to do certain things, and he said, I will pay 50%, and B also said 50%. And A paid 50% already. So let's suppose it is for C. Okay, this is for the benefit of C. So A said I'll pay 50%, and B said I'll pay 50%. A has already paid 50%, but B did not pay. Okay, and since it is a promise, and it was agreement between these two people that they will do, but he has no idea about the, suppose he is supposed to get 100 rupees, then, and that, like, the A and B is a one party, and C is a one party, but A has nothing, but B is not aware that both the person have agreed that they will pay. He will pay 50 and he will pay 50. But since C is not aware, so B did not pay at all. Now the burden is on A, so A has paid the whole sum of amount 100 rupees to C. Okay. So in this case, what happened? A suffered the loss. Okay. So now, because of whom? Because of B. So since they have already agreed that they will be contributing 50% for the betterment of C, so that's why. So there is a relation between them. Okay. So that's why. So such relation is called a right in personam. Okay, because of that relation only A has got the right to sue B, right, for the rest of the 50% amount. So because of the relation, A has got the right to sue. So such right is called right in personam. Okay, but right in rem, there is no such right. Okay, there is no relation. Okay, there is no relation. A already has a right, B also has a right in the respective place. If he is not doing anything, he is not doing anything. He is enjoying his right, he is enjoying his right. But if he do certain things, he trespasses his land, so that means his right is being violated. Okay, so that is, such right is called right in rem, and tort is always a right in rem. Okay, so I hope now this concept is clear to you, that what is right in rem and right in personam, and this concept is really important, and in many exams, what is right in rem, what is right in wrong, like personam, this kind of questions has came. Okay, so guys, so let's get back to the definition. That is, it is an infringement of a right in rem of a private individual. Okay, so I told you. So let's take another example. This is A and this is B. Okay, so A and B. So A lives here and B lives here. Okay, so infringement of it is an infringement of right in rem. So he has the right to enjoy his land. So this is his right in rem. Okay, and he also has the right to enjoy his land. It is his right. Okay, but without his permission, if he trespasses his land or do certain things in order to disturb him, or in order to make him lost. So that means his right of enjoyment his land is being violated by whom? By B. Okay. So A is a private individual, B is also a private individual. So that's what I'm saying, that it is an infringement. So the moment he caused trespass, so it is an infringement of his right in rem. Okay. And this right, when his right in rem is violated, when his right of enjoyment is being violated, so what the law of tort does, law of tort give a right, law of tort gives the right to the B. Okay, law of tort gives the right, gives the right to A, okay, to sue B, okay, to sue B, compensation at a suit, okay, to file a suit. So since A is an injured party, so the law of tort gives the right to the injured party to file a suit for compensation. Okay, so this is the simple meaning of this definition. That is, it is an infringement. So it is a violation of the right in rem, that is a right of the private individual which is being violated by the another person. And what the law of tort does here, law of tort gives a right to the injured party to file a suit for the compensation from the another party, from the wrongdoer. Okay. So I hope this definition is clear to you now. Now let's take another definition. So after that you will have a clear idea on the law of tort. So what the definition is, I don't know. Okay. So it is the definition of infringement. So we said tortious liability arises from the breach of a duty primarily fixed by law. This duty. So guys, this is the definition that by Quintet, that is tortious liability arises from the breach of duty primarily fixed by law. This duty is towards person generally, and its breach is redressable by an action for unliquidated damages. So guys, tortious liability, it is tortious, okay, not tortious, because I have heard many people saying tortious, but it's not tortious, it's tortious. Okay, what is tortious liability? When the person commits a tort, when the person commits a wrong which is a civil wrong and which comes under the category of tort, then the liability arising out of that wrong, that will be called tortious liability. Okay, the tortious liability arises from the breach of duty primarily fixed by law. So take example again, the same example, A and B. Okay, so both the person has the right over his land or his respective jurisdiction or area. Okay, so the tortious liability arises from the breach of the duty primarily fixed by law. So A has the duty to respect B. Okay, and B also has the right to respect duty to respect A. Respect in the sense, suppose like A has the duty to not to defame B. He cannot say anything about B, okay, and B also cannot say anything about A, because that will harm the reputation of A and reputation of B, because having a reputation is also your right, okay, your right. So you have a right for your reputation. No one can breach or defame you anyway, okay. So that's what it is saying here, that it is a breach of duty primarily fixed by law. So I have a right of respect, okay, and that is already fixed by law. Like no one can come and disrespect me or defame me publicly, okay. So that is my right, okay. So tortious liability arises. Okay, the liability for the wrong of tort arises. You know, it arises for the breach of duty. For the breach of duty. So these duties are okay. These duties breach. The breach of these duties, that he does certain thing which is, you know, defamatory for A, and also A has done certain thing which is defamatory for B. So vice versa. Okay, anything. So certain things. So which is, you know, which now the duty is being breached. Okay, he defamed B. A defamed B. Okay, so the duty is breached. So this duty is towards person generally. Okay, so here it means like towards person generally. What it trying to say is that it is not. It doesn't only mean that A has the duty towards B. A has the duty towards C, D, X, Y, Z. Okay, so respectively, it is my, since for me my reputation is really important. So similarly, for other people his reputation is also important. So I have to respect his reputation. Okay, so I shouldn't be saying anything which will be defamatory or which will injure his reputation in the society. Okay, so if I do that, what will happen? That will be a defamation, and that will be the breach of the duty. So, and when such and what if I commit such things, that what will happen? This duty is towards person generally, and it's breach. And if I, you know, if I defame a certain person, then what will happen? So it will be redressable by an action for unliquidated damages. So in order to make it good, okay, redressable means to make good. Okay, so the you know, because of the breach the person has suffered loss or anything loss. So such breach can be, you know, can be made good by an action. Action here means a suit. By an action, that means a suit. Okay, for unliquidated damages. So guys, damages always means compensation. Okay, damages always means compensation. Damages always means compensation. Unliquidated, that means not priorly fixed. Okay, not priorly fixed. Not priorly fixed. Okay. For example, in case of the IPC or other codified laws, if a person commits a murder act, section 300, under section 302 IPC, that person will get a certain punishment. That punishment is, the quantum of punishment is already written. But in case of the law of tort, if a person commits the torts and there is no priorly fixed compensation, yeah, this should be the amount or this should be the remedy. So that is not primarily fixed. Okay, so that's why it is said unliquidated damages. When the person commits the breach of the duty primarily fixed by the law, and such breach can be redressable by an action for unliquidated damage. So that's what it means. Okay, I hope you understand. I could make you understand about this definition. And if you still have certain doubts or questions, then do let me know in the comment section. I will try to clear in my forthcoming videos. Okay, so guys, this is about the definition. Now let's move ahead. The important thing. Okay, so what are the essentials? Like, what are the things which is required in order to constitute a tort? So we will see such things, like what are the things which are essential. Okay, so essentials of tort. So what is essential? Okay, so we'll see here. Okay. So guys, number one is that act or omission. Act or omission. Act or omission. So number one is that act or omission. There has to have a certain act committed by the committed by the defendant. Suppose A and B. A is a plaintiff, B is a defendant. Okay, so there has to have a certain act done by the defendant to the plaintiff, or D has not done certain thing, which D is expected or D is supposed to have done. Okay, that means he made the omission. Okay, either he did or he did not, and which has turned out to be a harmful for the plaintiff. Okay, so that's what it means. So first of all, the first essential is that there has to have a act or omission which is harmful or which has caused harm for the plaintiff by the defendant. Okay, so that is the number one essential. And so number two, yeah, so there has to have a act or omission on the part of the defendant towards the which is harmful for the plaintiff, and so that plaintiff gets the right to sue other person. Okay, if a person does not do anything, then obviously the plaintiff will not have a right to sue other person, right? So that's what I mean that. So guys, so second important thing is that important essentials of law in order to consider a tort, that is legal damage. Okay, so the number one was that act or omission. Okay, so A and B. Okay, so A and B. Okay, so A has been let's suppose A in his house playing English music. Okay, English music, and B in his house living very silently. Okay, but since he is playing English music and we do not understand English music at all, so in that case, when we say that why are you playing English music and all that, I don't understand, don't play such music, it is really disturbing, it's just like just making a sound and all that. So B said to A. Okay, and here though that this is the act. Okay, this is the act of done by A, but this act is not harmful for B. Okay, it is not committing any disturbance to B, since he do not understand English language. So now he is trying to restrict him. From listening the English music, and which is not right. Okay, because he has the right to enjoy his land. Okay, he can play whatever the music he want to play. Okay, so here, so B, A has not committed any wrong. So A did not listen to B, and he keep on playing English music and listening very nicely at his place. So here, the damage suffered by the irritation suffered by the B is not legal damage. Okay, so which is the the second essential. It should be legal damage. Okay, so the damage or the wrong suffered by B is not legal damage, because like he is enjoying in his land, he can listen whatever the things he want. But there is if it would have been say if A would have been playing a very loud music, okay, excessive loud music, which is not bearable for B, and which is also English music, and you do not understand at all, and it is very loud music. So B's actually disturbing, B's peace is being violated. So in that case, B will have the right. So in that case, B's right has been violated to enjoy his land, because in the first case, what was that? Like he is listening in a very nominal voice in his room only. So but still he has got problem. But now when he exceeded the voice, okay, it is so loud that B, it is really disturbing. Actually, it is disturbing for B. Now in that case, B has suffered the damage. Okay, and that damage is legal damage. Okay, now I think you can understand it through this example. So in order to identify, okay, but apart from this example, in the law of tort, we have two maxims to identify whether the damage is legal or not. Okay, so the number one maxim is that injuria sine demno. Okay, so guys, always remember, and these maxims are really important, and try to remember them very carefully. Okay, because in most of the exams, this from the law of tort paper, only this type of only from this maxims questions has been coming. Okay, so guys, injuria sine demno, what does it mean? Okay, so there is a two maxim. I'll write down it later. But the first maxim is that injuria sine demno. So injuria, just remember, okay, injuria means a injury. Always remember a legal injury. Okay, legal damage or injury, legal damage or injury. damage or injury. So injuria always means legal injury or legal damage, okay? And sine means without. Means without. And demno means damage. Okay? So demno means damage. So now let's understand, okay? Let's try to understand this. So legal injury without damage, okay? So whether it is a tort or not, in that case whether the plaintiff will get the remedy or not. So let's try to understand this concept, okay? So there is a injury of the legal right. So injury of legal right. Okay? So there is injury of legal right without damage. Okay. So there is no physical damage. That means damage here means a physical damage. Okay. Damage means physical damage. So physical damage. Okay. So there was a violation of the legal right, but without causing any physical damage or damage. Okay. So in that case, the plaintiff will get compensation. Okay, because his legal right is violated. All right. So let's take with the help of one case law, it will be very easy for you to understand that there is a very famous case, and that case is very, very important. So try to remember and keep that. The question, used to come in almost all the exams where the law of tort is required. So the question from this topic is always been asked. So it is very important. Okay. So the number one question was, the case laws relating to it was a landmark case. Okay, that is Ashby versus White. It is the case of England of 1703. Okay. Ashby versus White. So what happened in this case? It was, so in this case, what happened? The plaintiff, who happened to be a qualified voter, and who was and whose vote was refused to take. By whom? By the returning officer. So returning officer. So there was a plaintiff who was a qualified voter, and his vote was refused to taken by the returning officer. Okay, and the person, the plaintiff supposed to vote, have won the election, parliamentary election. Have won the parliamentary election. So the person, the plaintiff wanted to vote, has won the election without his vote. Okay, without the vote of plaintiff. Okay. Without the vote of the plaintiff. So here now you can see that there is in the case of Ashby versus White, there was a plaintiff who was a qualified voter, and his right to vote. Okay, he has the right to vote, and which is right to vote, and he went to vote, cast his vote, but his vote was refused to be taken by returning officer. Okay, so his right is being violated here only. Okay, and the person he wanted to vote has won the parliamentary election without the plaintiff's vote. Okay, so here if you see, and if you now compare this situation in this with this maxim, then it will be very clear to you. Okay, so there was a plaintiff and who was a qualified voter, and his vote was refused. So that means his right to vote has been refused. So that means there is a legal damage. Okay, legal injury. Okay, and the person he wanted to vote won the election. That means there is no damage physically suffered by him. Okay, there is no damage. So here, like the person he wanted to vote has won the election without his vote only. So that means there is no damage. There is no damage, physical damage. Okay, there is no physical damage. Okay, so that is why. The legal damage has been occurred. I mean, his right to vote has been violated by the returning officer. Returning officer, he is a what? Defendant. Okay, returning officer is a defendant. Okay, so his right is being violated by the returning officer. But the one he wanted to vote has won the election without his vote. So that means that he has not suffered any damage. But since his right is being violated, that's why he will get the compensation. That is why the court gives the the plaintiff won the case and asked the defendant. The court asked the defendant to pay compensation. Okay. So I hope now it is clear to you little bit of this maxim. So another landmark case that we will discuss here again, that is of Indian case. And that case is also very important, and that case is famously known as habeas corpus case. That case name is Bhimsen versus State of J&K, 1986. Okay, so this case is also famously known as habeas corpus case. Habeas corpus case. Okay, you will find this case in Article 32 and 226 of the Constitution regarding the writ. Okay, the writ petition. Okay, this is a really landmark case on this regard. Okay, so in the case of the Bhimsen versus State of Jammu and Kashmir, what happened? There was a MLA. Okay, there was this MLA, and who was being wrongfully detained. Wrongfully detained. So who was wrongfully detained and by the police. Okay, who was wrongfully detained by police. Wrongfully detained. That means wrongfully here means without any lawful justification he was detained, and he was supposed to go to attend the assembly session. So he went to attend the assembly session. Okay, so he was MLA, plaintiff was MLA, and who was wrongfully detained by the police, and because of such detention he was supposed to go to the session, but he was restricted. So he was supposed to go to the attend the assembly session, but he could not. Okay, and another wrong that has been done to him was that he was not produced before magistrate within 24 hours. So this is his fundamental right. Which article is talking about? Article 22 clause 2. Okay, so Article 22 clause 2 gives the right to the arrested person that to get produced before the magistrate within 24 hours of his detention. Okay, so in this case what happened? The MLA was wrongfully detained without any lawful lawful cause. He was detained by the police, and he was on the way to attend the parliamentary assembly session, but he was refused, and since he was wrongfully detained, so he could not attend. So that's why what happened, and after the detention also, he was not produced before the magistrate within 24 hours, which is his fundamental right guaranteed under Article 22 clause 2. Okay, so but though he could not attend the assembly session, he does not suffer any loss. Okay, he doesn't suffer any loss. it's not a big deal for him. But since his right to attend the assembly is his fundamental right, okay, is a fundamental right guaranteed under Article 21. Okay, Article 21, that means right to liberty and right to life and personal liberty, right? So Article 21. So in this case, what happened? So so his two right has been violated, Article 22 and Article 21. Okay, his right is violated, but he has not suffered any loss out of it, out of that wrongful detention. Okay, so but the court, held such detention was wrongful and held the state liable to pay the compensation. The compensation amount was 50,000. Okay, the compensation amount was 50,000. So the Mr. Bhim Singh, who was the MLA of Jammu and Kashmir, has won the case, and the state was held responsible to pay the compensation of rupees 50,000 to Mr. MLA. Okay, so let's see if you see the scenario and now compare with this maxim. That means Bhim Singh, whose right to attend the assembly and to be produced before the magistrate. So two right is being violated. That is a legal injury. Okay, so but there was no damage. He just because he could not attend the assembly session, there is not a big loss for him. Okay, so that's why. So there is no physical damage, or there is no you can say actual damage suffered by him. Okay, so that is why since his legal right is being violated, so that's why he got the compensation of rupees 50,000. Okay, so this is all about this injuria sine demno. Okay, I hope now it is clear to you that what does it mean. Okay, and so the another maxim is that is demnum sine injuria. Okay, so demnum again. So demnum and demno means the same. Okay, it means a damage or loss. Damage or loss. Sine means without. Sine means without, and injuria always means what? That injury. Legal damage or violation of legal right. Okay. Okay. So here, like injuria sine demno, there was a violation of legal right, but without a damage, without a loss. But here is a loss, but there is no violation of legal right. Okay. So in the case of demnum sine injuria, what the court will do? Court will not give any compensation to the victim. Okay, to the sufferer. So in order to understand this maxim, we need to go to a famous case. Okay, this is also very famous case. You need to remember, that is Gloucester grammar school case. So this case is of in this case of 1410. Okay. So what happened to this school? To this case was that there was a school. There was a grammar school. Okay. And there was a grammar school, and there was a headmaster who was running a grammar school. So, and that has got many students. Okay, many student pupils. Okay, there is to be many student. So yeah, there has got a many student. Okay, and he has been teaching here for many years. Okay. And another school for grammar is being built for the same topic, that is grammar school, by another teacher, another headmaster. Okay, another headmaster. And what he did, like the moment he opened his another school, he started giving a very good education to the pupils. So what happened? He has got a number of students. His number is increased a lot. Number started increasing. His number of students are increasing day by day. And what happened? With that fear, because he is progressing very rapidly, and his progress is being somewhere stopped. Okay. So he was so jealous of it, okay? He was so envious of it. And in order to retain his student, what he did, he started reducing his fee. Okay. So earlier, that means before this school, the fee used to happen 40 pence. 40 pence. 40 pence. Now it is reduced to 12 pence. B and C. Sorry. 12 pence. So, with the fear that the student will go to that school, that's why he has reduced his school fees from 40 to 12 pence. Okay. But even then, now substantial number of the student, okay, substantial number of the students goes to this school, okay, and his student is getting, number of students decreasing day by day, started decreasing day by day. So what happened? Then he filed a suit against this school, okay, against this school, that because of this person I have suffered a loss, and I have suffered like this. These are the laws, and my number of students, the number of students started shifting from my school to that school, and I have also done this, and I have also decreased the school fees, but still most of the students are going there. So in that case, the court has held that what? Right? So though you have suffered a loss because of him, but he is doing his job, and he is providing a quality education which the student is liking. The student is loving them a lot. Okay, so that's why the student is shifting. He is not forcefully asking a student to come to his school, right? If he would have done such activity, then probably he could have got the compensation. But he is not doing anything. He is doing his own duty, and you are doing your own duty. So he is not doing anything to you personally. So that's why he did not get any compensation. So so now you just analyze the thing, okay, with this maxim. That is, there was a damage. That means number of student decreased and shifted, and price is also dropped. So there was a damage, but there was no legal damage. Okay, there was no legal damage. Okay, he has not done any personally to him. Okay, he did not come and ask any student to come, and he is not saying anything bad about him, that he is a bad teacher and all that. He is not saying anything. Okay, he is not saying anything about him, but still the student chooses to go there voluntarily. So there was no violation of legal damage. So that's why the plaintiff did not get the compensation. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you now. If you still have doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Okay, so yeah, I hope it is clear to you now. So in order to identify whether the damage is legal or not, we have two maxims, that is injuria, sine, demno. So in case of the injuria, the plaintiff will get the compensation because there is a violation of the legal right. But in case of the demnum sine injuria, there is no violation of the legal right. That's why the plaintiff will not get the compensation. Okay. And if it is a demnum sine injuria, then that is not a legal damage. And if it is injuria sine demnum, that is a legal damage. Okay. So I hope it is clear to you now. And the last essential is that legal remedy. So the third essential element to constitute constitute tort is legal remedy. Okay. So before I start this, I want to give you certain case laws relating to the demnum sine injuria. Okay, because in your exam might be certain questions will come like this case relating to the which are maxim, demnum sine injuria, injuria sine demnum. So I'm going to tell you the certain case laws which is related to the demnum sine injuria. Okay, so try to note down. Okay, so action versus Blendel. Okay, number one was action, ACTION, action versus BLU. So these are the cases related to the Denmum sine injuria, that is Action versus Blundell, Chesnur versus Richards, Usaben versus Bhagyalakshmi Chitra Mandir, and Mughal Steamship Company, Mughal Steamship Company versus McGregor Grow and Company, 1982. So guys, here this case Usaben versus Bhagyalakshmi Chitra Mandir, this case is really interesting. Okay, I want you should read it. Okay, this case is related to the Jai Santoshi Mata movie. That movie, I think most of you have watched that movie in your childhood days. I have also watched. So Usaben versus Bhagyalakshmi Chitra Mandir. So this movie, this case is related to that movie. Okay, so you should read this case. This case is really interesting. Okay, so now let's move ahead. Another essential, the last essential of the law of tort. In order to constitute law of tort, what last essential was it? What? That is legal remedy. So when the person commits a crime, commits an act or omission, and which is harmful, and that harm is caused to the defendant, so plaintiff, and that harm is of legal damage. Okay, the damage suffered by the plaintiff is legal damage, and in order to identify whether damage is legal or not, we have two maxims: injuria sine demno and demnum sine injuria. Okay, and when the person suffers damage, and the damage is legal damage, that is injuria sine demno, so that means, and after that the person will have the right for the legal remedy. Okay, so that the legal remedy means the right to go to court for civil action for what? For compensation which is not fixed, that means unliquidated damages. Okay, so this is what? So legal damage here means the right to go to the court for civil action for unliquidated damages. So once the person suffered, so in order to constitute a tort, there must be act or omission, and there must be legal damage, and the legal damage means the injuria sine demno, and after that, once the person suffered the injury, legal damage suffered, then that once he suffered, so he has the right to go to the court for civil action for unliquidated damages. Okay, so if these three conditions are satisfied, then you can say the wrong suffered by the plaintiff is a tort. Okay, and in case of the tort, the remedy is always unliquidated damages. Okay, so I hope I could make you clear about this topic, that what is law of tort and what are the essentials of the law of tort. So in my next video, I will discuss about whether the intention is required or not in case of the tort. Since in the case of the IPC, mens rea or the guilty mind is necessary, but in case of the law of tort, a guilty mind is necessary or not. So we're gonna discuss that in my next video. So if you're watching till at this time also, so thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and thank you once again. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and do share this video with your friends and who are who is studying LL.B. This video will be very helpful for them. So thank you so much once again. Have a great day, guys, and do not forget to like this video and press the bell icon and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay, have a great day.